Hello, my name is Ethan, and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile Delirium League 3.10. And good morning, guys. How are you doing? Welcome back to another episode. So, we're back again with another viewer comments video. Yup, you know it. Here it is. We're back at it again. Viewer comments. Because we can't get enough of my own viewer comments. How you guys doing? I love the interaction. Let's get right into it. So this time, it's not just questions, okay? We'll tell you guys that. I'm including comments. Willie Chang. Nice baby. Ethan, for POB, enemies are intimidated box. Which part of the build gives this? Thanks. Yes, so to get Intimidate in the build, we use Awakened Melee Physical Damage Support, and when you add Quality, it gives 0.5% chance to intimidate enemies for 4 seconds on hit. Easy clap. There you go, Willie. Now you know how to use Awakened Melee Fizz. Thanks for the question, dude. Also, thanks for the sub. JD, 3 hours ago. He edited it. I don't know what it was before this. But anyways, just a heads up. You don't account for your Ascendancy, giving you and your minions 30% all res. So he's talking about Commander of Darkness. So you could probably shave off 4 points from either of the resist part, which would personally... resist pass, I would personally pick the one on the left, since the one on the right also grants physical reduction of minion life. So I've actually already done that in my skill tree, but that's because I got elemental resistance for my minions on Jewel, and then that Jewel made it so I don't need that res next to Indomitable Army. I can take the physical damage reduction, so he's right about that, but that's because of a Jewel, not because of the Commander of Darkness. So I responded that the range of Commander of Darkness is short, and so then I clarify a bit more here that I try to do this for my Golem zombies and found when I linked them with Feeding Frenzy, they are outranging the Purity of Elements and Commander of Darkness by just a little bit. So when they run out to their farthest they can with their aggression with Feeding Frenzy, Purity of Elements and Commander of Darkness don't reach, and they won't have res. So you have to use the res either on the skill tree, jewels, or whatever. That's a requirement unless your stuff can survive without cap. Viper PT says, why no Alk? And this is on my Blight AFK video. It's a good question. I get it a lot. So alchemy adds difficulty to the map because you're adding mods, and the thing, while only helping the loot from the loot explosion and not the chests. So all the loot is in the chests, and it doesn't affect the chests, so it's shit. I chisel for 20% quality because it doesn't add any difficult mods onto my map, unlike alchemy. No mods, just 20% quant. Triple clear oil for easy maps because it slows the monsters so they get hit by your meteors and they can't path around your minions. Triple teal oil though when you're big and strong and you want to make big profit. Notch. Oh shit, does he play Minecraft? Indigon helmet is his tip here. I would also take Flask effect stacking into consideration. This is on my Guardian video. People are giving me tons of great ideas now because I've tapped into a new group, so I get more cool ideas. So this is what he's talking about. I forgot about this. This was talked about like a couple seasons ago when they first found it, and there were all these Indigon mana flask builds when they brought out the mana flask not losing the effect at full mana. As soon as they added that was a viable method of sustain. And so the reason or how this works is recovering 8 to 10% of life when you use a mana flask, okay? And non-instant mana recovery from flask is also applied, recovered as life. And so you just, you know how you have that perma mana flask? Well, you'd have a perma life flask too. Sounds pretty good to me. Yeah, I could see why it doesn't get removed at full. That's pretty good, dude. You used to be able to stack the mana, so it would keep going over and like stack the duration, so it could last like 30, 60 seconds. This got a lot worse, probably. Okay. Manted. Ethan, if I get the Sakawal's Nest armor for this build, I don't need a 6-link version, correct? So JD helped him out. Thank you, JD. He said 5 link, 6 socket minimum. Yep. So, right, just get a 5 link. You actually don't even need a 5 link. You could go lower than a 5 link, but yeah, 5 link for our aura setup with the Enlighten. It's Pride, Purity of Elements, Flesh and Stone, Maim, and Enlighten 4, and then I put my Golem in the 6th socket. You could really put anything, it doesn't really matter. And then if you want to do a 6 link version, you can do you can add Dread Banner. I wrote it here. You can add Dread Banner to the aura setup to get the Enlighten 4 benefits, so you don't have to get as much mana reserve. And yeah, 6 link it. Then you don't have Awakened Generosity, so you only get 20% Impale chance, so you would need 4 Rotting Claws. Konstantinos. Hey Ethan, how do you add Intimidate to the build? I missed that part. And so I wrote, I'll show you here. It's the easiest way. Also, Awaken Melee Fizz, click Configuration under for effective DPS, tick is the enemy intimidated. So now we'll do that with a build. Don't pay any attention to this build. So Configuration, and you scroll down to effective DPS, and you would click Intimidate, and then it says 10% increase attack damage taken. Okay, back to the tutorial. Black Magics. See how I said that this isn't... So this isn't a question, but it's great, and I want to include it. Because I think just like how I enjoyed reading it, other people will enjoy me reading it to them. Okay, I have a Golem build with 90 physical. So he's talking about physical damage reduction. 78 all res. 85 chaos with 50 LE to chaos. So he's using one of the Timeless Jewels to have the special thing that gets you 10 extra max chaos, and he gets 50 LE as chaos, and it LE bypasses energy shield now, or all damage bypasses energy shield, so he no longer has energy shield in the build. You will get around 1k to 1.5k life regen for Stone Golem. That's pretty good. Damage is insane and can go LE or physical with Impale. Yeah, so the LE would be the Ice Golems, and you pew pew range golems, or you go the physical, and of course you would Impale, because it's the best way to scale minions in the game right now, physical. Yeah, we need more support for the other things, or you go like full aura bot and stuff. Only issue is with around 7x spent, only having around 4.5k health, which even with full-time movement speed, VMS... Wait, what's MS and VMS? Molten Shell, Val Molten Shell. You get one shot from some bosses. Yeah, that's very low health. So tip, some people forget, Chaos Golem needs to be at least level 22 for the fizz, 5% fizz reduction. Yeah, it's actually why, so it was part of it. Chaos Golem, in my build, you could get the +2 in the Necromancer, obviously from the Ascendancy, but you could also get a +1 from the Amulet, where that +1 intelligence skill gem starts to come in handy. But no, we'll probably just find another way, like +1 socketed gems or something on a glove for the extra golems, just for the buffs. Put like Carrion and the Chaos in there or something, and have the super Stone Golem with high level for the massive regen probably. Try to get the highest level Stone Golem I possibly can probably. As a side thing, because then all that extra effect will be amplified even more on the life. And then see how I say this comment's super cool, because it like tells you it gives you a lot of information about the build that I'm going into next, and so it gets us going down the train of thought already. And he throws in this like little tip just because he's like, hey man, this is where I fucked up, I forgot it. Okay, so I'd really love to see you go crazy with golems. They're tons of fun. Carrion as main is super fast map clear. Stone Golem as main eats bosses alive. Yeah, I bet both of them are going to be perfectly fine. I bet both are fine. I have no idea, I haven't played them, but I bet it's that this feels awkward in mapping, which then Carrion's probably better at both, but it's just that yeah, it's probably Carrion, but we'll see. Terry, how you doing? Is farming Simulacrum higher chaos per hour than farming tier 16 Blight? So I compared it before when I watched MBX video, So I think that we make pretty much, with the costs included, about the exact same. So this obviously is hard to calculate because it includes 1-node voices and 3-node voices, which is super RNG, and you don't know if you're going to get it. And then there's RNG involved in Blight that you don't know if you're going to get things or not. And yeah, but over a big sample, it sounds like it's exactly the same based on the different costs and the time involved and all that. And then the only difference is the mechanic you're doing, having fun with the new stuff and getting voices drops and Megalomaniac. So you're gonna have stuff that's like hard to sell and weird, and yeah. Whereas Blight, you pretty much know what you're getting. So I think Simulacrum's more fun than Blight, or at least the drops are more cool. Raphael Williams, how you doing, dude? Nice glasses. I'm glad to see the Baron build is still active and well, but it took a major hit on the defensive side of things. Long live skeletons! True! See how I had to, dude. I have to include these. Okay. Zero Docs. He said, the only thing heralds kill is the League. Rip League. True, dude. Okay, no the men. Noth you men. Not sure. Okay. Oh yes, please push Golem build to the extreme. You see how much hype is already around this Golem build? There was more hype around the Golem build than me playing the Guardian build, and so it was better that I got the Guardian build out of the way and that I'm over it, and now I can just focus on this Golem, because man, look at the excitement. He says, I did an Impale carry on Golem Elementalist in 3.9 and with limited budget 40 to 50x was crushing every endgame content except Delve, obviously. Only went to 450 with it. That's pretty good, dude. I would love to see an upgraded 3.10 Cluster Jewel Shenanigans version of Golem build, whichever way you choose to go with it. Will do my best, dude. Love it. The buffs don't stack. Oh, sorry, I didn't do the Shokuten 69. Hey, nice sub, dude. I like this. Nice sub you got here. The buffs don't stack from multiple of the same golem, right? So 5 Chaos Golems won't give you 25% physical damage reduction. Right. So this is a misunderstanding, but it's a really good thing to include because this is a good tip nonetheless. Like, he's not wrong and he hasn't said anything wrong. He's helping me. He thinks I thought this, so he's correcting me, but I didn't think this. So what happened is, in the video I was talking about, and also in the picture you can see right here, this is part of a circle spinny thing that's saying that my comment won't load. So I did reply, and my comment is, yeah, I was talking about having 500% golem buff effect, not 5 chaos golems. I want to go all stone or carry on with the chaos for the buff multiplied by 5. And so I want to get the buff effect through the Ascendancy, Elementalist buff effect from having multiple golems. I want the stacking of primordial bonds to have increased buff effect. I want to stack jewels so that the jewel gives me more buff effect. I want to get a crazy build going, so that's what we're going to be looking at, and then trying to figure out a balance between it. But yeah, I know you can't stack the same golem for the same effect, because imagine having 8 stone golems instead of 1,000 or 1,500, you'd have 10,000. Like, okay, Jose, how you doing, dude? Hi, can you give us the link? Where did you follow the guide? So this is in regards to, I'm supposed to have a picture of the video he's commented on. I messed up. This is in regards to the Guardian video, where I give my opinion on my build, the one that my version of the Guardian, which wasn't great. So I said it wasn't a guide. I didn't follow a guide. It was 5 characters on PoE Ninja that I liked, and I made my version based on those for guidance. So now I'm going to show you how I do such a thing. So give me a second to go run through it with you. Okay, so here we have the 5 builds that I looked at. So what I did first was I asked chat, because I was streaming during all this. It was done live. I said to my chat, I was like, hey, should I go CI or are we going shafts? And the general consensus, because Karibo wasn't in the stream that day, that we would go for Chevrons and no CI, because you would have to have so many mana reserve jewels, and it would be really expensive. And so what I did instead was, yeah, Shavs, and then I looked at these 5 builds, and what I do is I click between them and see what the similarities are. So the first thing you notice between these 5 builds is 4 of them have this weapon, Nebulous Synthesized Void Scepter. So it's like, oh, you should probably go get that. So I got that, and I got a decent one, right? It was perfectly rolled for cast speed, cold damage, and lightning damage, or like really close to perfect. And I got a nice Prism Guardian, because every single person had a Prism Guardian. This guy didn't use the Nebulous, but look at that. Look at that. No. I'm going to go with the Nebulous Simple. And then I noticed the rings. A lot of these builds use Call of the Brotherhood. So I was like, okay, that seems easy too. Just grab Call of the Brotherhood. But I got a special Call of the Brotherhood because I followed this build more specifically. I liked this one the best out of all the ones I was looking at because it had 7-point voices, which then showed me that the build was viable without using 3-point voices. When I actually have a build to look at that shows that it's working without it, it's like, oh, that's cool, actually. So yeah, I got cast speed, Call of the Brotherhoods, that's why they costed more. I got cast speed, Malagaro's Virtuosity, which is why it costed more, so these were more expensive. And I had Ethereal Knives Damage Helm Enchant on this Alpha's Howl too. It was pretty cool. So then I also went for his cool Ami with the Vitality and the reduced mana reserve. We didn't have the LE Pen or the extra lightning or the crit. We went for a Headhunter like him. So you can see how I looked at all these builds, compared them, showed the simulator, showed the differences. I could have went like here. You get just a regular belt with ES, and you go for Aspect of the Spider. This was actually a comment recommendation for me, and it's literally just if I had looked more detailed without just being lazy and going Headhunter. But if you notice, 3 of them had Headhunter, and I honestly enjoyed the Headhunter because I was able to do Beyond, and it felt really juicy and crazy and really fast, and the damage was insane. So then I also went for his boot, where we went for 10% chance to gain Elusive on critical strike, and the Tailwind if you've dealt a critical strike recently. This guy also had Aspect of the Spider. I never got Aspect of the Spider in the build because somebody said I don't need it, and then I never got it because I forgot. Yep. Wow, I actually was missing an aura, and I should have had more mana reserve. My bad, dude. But yeah, this is how I did it. And then I looked through the jewels, and I figured out how many heralds you need, figured out how every single medium jewel has Purposeful Harbinger, so that every medium has a Purposeful Harbinger 1 jewel socket, and the only difference is you either have Endbringer, Harbinger, or sorry, Heraldry, or the Presence for the regen. So it was like, oh, when you realize that, the build starts to make a lot more sense. And so this is how I did it, and it wasn't through a guide. It was just looking at the core of the Guardian build, what people do. What does every normal Guardian do? What's the most common thing? That kind of thing. So similar, you could like probably go to the PoE Ninja page and see like the most used items, but that doesn't always work because they're not the best. So I looked at best builds by Delve Depth. I like Delve Depth. Okay. Well, let's get right back into the video now. Okay, so Mike, he says here, you need Impale support, not for chance to impale, lol. It's for increased effective Impale. So it's just the way he wrote this is like super disrespectful. But either way, it's fine, dude. You do you. I wrote, it's not that much, smiley face. So here we have my POB. So what you do, this is what I tell people all the time. You can try this yourself at home with my POB. Any changes you think, you can just try them yourself. But okay, here we have Awaken Brutality. When you take it off, put it on, it would add 430k total DPS. And 725k when you include the Impale. The Impale is 295. That's a lot of damage, dude. That's on 1 zombie, just from the Brutality. Okay, now here's Impale. This is Impale support. So the damage is 100k, so it's 1/4 of the damage. But it's about the Impale effect, Ethan. Okay. So Impale DPS. Yeah, he's right, dude. 329,000. It's more Impale DPS than this by 34,000. That's it. And then you notice total DPS because you add these two, and look. So his is only 30k more after 5 hits because you have to stack the Impale, and you've lost 330k per hit. So then 300k worse. So Impale support when you don't need the chance to Impale is actually just worse than Brutality, and probably minion. Yeah, so here we have the next question. It leads into this one. It's perfect. Kek Vlak Scum. Hello. Hi. Should I remove Impale support when I take chance to Impale on Cluster Jewel? So we needed to... JD added again! How the fuck? Yo, he woke up this morning and he's like, I'm gonna do an Ethan and just go and reply to Ethan's comments and help people out. Thanks, man. It was really, really nice of you. What a guy. He gets highlighted today. So, only remove Impale support if you have 3 Rotting Claws from Drill. Dude, how? He just knows everything. This guy's a legend. So I wrote, need at least 3 Rotting Claws. I write things way shorter than people. Oh my god, I can't be bothered to write in the law. No. Sometimes, if I'm feeling the meme, I'll reply with a long one. But god damn, most of the time, a quick reply. Okay. This one is special. Don't do this. This is a public service announcement. I got to this today. It's the 24th. He sent this on the 21st. Don't do this. Okay. So I'll explain first. This is a message, private message on Path of Exile on the website. So what you have to do to find this is to log in. I don't log into the website, so I didn't log in for 3 days, therefore my messages, I don't see them, and yeah. Because, no, I don't recommend anyone to message me through the game. Why? What? Use my comment section for a comment about the weapon, like... Okay, so here we have a comment. Either way, it's a good question, though. That's why I would have, like, really liked this on a video so I could comment, and then people could read this comment and reply, and... Yeah. Or I could pin it. Hi, Ethan, I follow your YouTube channel, and I wanted to ask you about the necro weapon you use. Yeah, I'm a noob here, so sorry for the silly questions for an expert like you. It's fine. Does it make a difference to craft a war staff or a mace? So the war staff was for the double damage. It's a drop from the temple. You can't get it. It's a drop from temple, from alpha. You can't get it crafted. You have to get it as a drop. The mace, you can't craft double damage. You can only craft, like, if it is Elder, you can get Fortify, and if it's Shaper, you can get Socketed Skills, deal more attack damage. So then he said, which one is better? Is the Shaper influence important? Because now he's looking at my new weapon instead of knowing about what I used in the past, because... people don't know to go look at my other weapon videos. Do you have any crafting guide for the weapon? I do, but we'll find out in a second that he doesn't need my help. You'll find, because it's 3 days late. I'm too late for this comment, or this question. So, never ventured in crafting, but now I have to. I only have 7x budget, so I cannot afford to buy one. Yep. I work at a hospital, and I'm going to be a dad in 2 months. Congratulations. So I don't have the time to farm for... exorbitant amounts of exalt, especially now. I've hit a wall because I cannot escalate my damage further, and it's frustrating me because for the first time I'm doing endgame content, but cannot push more than tier 16 with 20% delirium. That's great, and still die a lot to some bosses. Tier 16 with 20% delirium is insane. Good job, man. I have Cyrus Awakener 5. Yeah, that's really good, and but haven't tried yet. Because my zombies only do 100k. Oh, you unlocked it. You haven't done it. Okay. 100k. Weapon and awakened gems make a huge difference, I know, but again, no money, lol. Can you give any tips? P.S. I've been trying to incorporate Herald of Purity with Circle of Guilt. It's a ring in the build because I have a nice jewel. Wait, is that the helm, actually? Wait, what the fuck? It's the ring, right? It's gotta be the ring. Synthesize? Yeah, it's a ring. Okay. So then he's trying to come up with something good for that. And again, sorry to bother you, and thank you if you have time to read my message. Stay safe, Exile. Best regards, Lucas. Okay, Lucas. So my first instinct is I got to his question 3 days late, and so what I did is the POB I showed earlier is his. So let's take this onto the screen, and this will now take over what we're doing for a little bit. So first thing I noticed is I allocate everything on his skill tree like this, and I notice he's 91, and he's only 90 though in skill points. So he's missing a skill point. He should probably go get that. His chaos res is complete garbage. So where he spends 2 points over here, he should probably spend them up here. It gets more interesting after this, I promise. So he got forceful skewering. You don't need this. You will for the strength, but yeah, that's okay. We'll figure that out. Like here, we'll just okay, there you go. I got you some more life. This isn't that much better, but it was just a quick point, you know? It's a quick example. Okay, so the biggest things I noticed though was went to his build and I looked at the weapon. I was like, oh, I'm too late. He got a weapon. He did great. This is a great weapon. Good job, man. You got minion damage, cheap. He probably got this for 7x, not gonna lie. Congratulations, you did really good. Then I was like, okay, why does he have shit damage? Well, he did take his damage from 100k to 400k, but now I notice some things. So, okay, so 400k. This is crazy damage. This is pretty good. But anyways, I noticed that he's running Geoffrey's. So I was like, well, I told him, I replied, and I said, well, I'm late, but you probably want soccer walls. Yeah, instead of Geoffrey's, like, drop this ES shit. Look, Shaper's Touch, what the fuck? No, dude. No. No. He only had 2500 energy shield with Geoffrey's Shaper's Touch. Alberon's is fine, but yeah, then he could wear an actual glove with like chaos res and strength to make up for the strength that I took away from the skill tree. Also, this actually showed that the Sakawals gave him enough strength to not need that either. He probably has more mana reserve now. Let's check his mana. 11. Jesus. He has more points again, so yeah, he'd be able to have 3 extra. So we could do this. I don't take Soul of Steel anymore. We take this. Wait, he doesn't have sacrifice? What? Almost done. There we go. 51, 33, 1096. The strength is so high. That's funny. Can I... What is this? There we go. How many points? 7. Just to show what's possible. There you go. You could be at 52, 57 with 1000 life. Have your sack of walls. Not sure that that's any better, but the point is Sokka walls, and the reason for that is you have Avian, but it wasn't even being used, so this damage was without Avian, so 400k goes to 488 just for having the different chest plate, and then the glove would help with the chaos and stuff like I was saying, and the strength, and he asked what should his last thing be in the ring for his skill. It was either a zombie or a skelly he was gonna do. I told him to put the skelly in the weapon because it was more. He asked which one should I put in the weapon for more because skellies are more damage, and I said, well, if you can't use your zombies yet, use skellies, but seems like he doesn't need to anymore. And then, where's his, so yeah, it was Valsam and Skelly's, and he did Brutality, Empower, Impale, and Multistrike. So I told him to do Feeding Frenzy, Melee, well, I would have said Feeding Frenzy, Melee Splash, and then, like, damage ones, like minion damage and Brutality or something, but it's okay. His are just super damage. It's fine. Like, pretty good for having a bunch of them. And then he ran Conqueror's Efficiency, so he wouldn't need to run this anymore because he has the Saka Walls now. He has the Chaos Res, Purity of Elements. That's pretty cool. Had the Thread of Hope. He probably can run more auras also. These are his jewels. So he uses a large with Renewal and Call to Slaughter. So it's like super weird, but it works. And his medium was Hulking Corpses Renewal, so he's making use of Renewal in the build. So that's why his damage could be a little bit higher than it's supposed to. But yeah, no Grave Pact either. He just skipped it. He had skipped Sacrifice, skipped Indomitable Army. So I basically told him he should probably look at my stuff. And yeah, so I took out, like, what? I spent 9 extra points and have the same life and more... Actually, more life, and now the minion survivability will be way better. If his minions weren't dying, that's mind blowing, right? Like, let's look at his zombie again. 47k. It didn't have any of that or any of this. Well, I guess if he has renewal, you don't need thing. But yeah, the res is messed. The res would be messed up. How would they not die with 37k? What is he doing that they can live with 37k? I'm mind blown. You need this shit. You need the res cap. Oh my god, that's mind blowing. And he has Commander and the Purity of Elements. So, like, does he have Feeding Frenzy on the zombie? Oh! He's so lucky. But yeah, I told him 1 extra zombie level 2 would make a huge difference. I went, boom, look at that. What the hell? Who needs Awakened Gems? Just add 50k for 1 level. But, and look at the health. Yeah, seems pretty good to me. But, yeah, so no Feeding Frenzy in the whole build. Okay. So that's probably something you'd want. And then also I noticed that on top of him going the Shaper's Touch and stuff, he went Discipline. So he doesn't have Pride in the build. He didn't have Awakened Generosity on the Dread banner. Here's Feeding Frenzy. We found it with a Carrion Golem. Oh, okay. He uses Carrion instead of... So this is pretty... No, he has the Flesh and Stone Mim. But yeah, this is his build. I like the Valhist. People have mentioned it. I keep forgetting that that's a thing you can do. And then he runs Flesh Offering. So I don't know why he would run Mistress of Sacrifice for first Flesh Offering to affect him. He can get an extra 10% physical damage reduction, 20% more monster maximum. Minions have 20% more maximum life. I didn't notice that. That's a lot. Why is it adding damage? Oh, it's this. That's a lot of life. Yeah. So there you go. His build starts to look really good. You could even take out like these 3 and put them here if you want the extra regen. That's pretty helpful. I honestly would take out the Carrion Golem for stone, but that's up to you, man. And You probably get a better cluster jewel for not very expensive, like 2 jewel clusters. 2 jewel sockets for the same amount of points. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's the same amount of points, and it's only like 100C, and you can get some better points too that isn't called a slaughter. I think renewal is actually okay. I think renewal is fine. I might start using it more. More and more I keep looking at it, it's bothering me. That's all for this build review though. He wanted me to help him out, so this is huge, but it's pretty much converting his build to my newfound thing. And it's funny that he doesn't like Grave Pact, because like, look at that. 620. Let's say you sacrificed 4 points of life. 48.52. You go back to his. Let's say his minions really aren't dying. Okay, 9 extra points. Let's just say the hypothetical. 9 extra. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 56, 54, and he has these terrible like. He doesn't even have a good glove, and he doesn't have boots. He has this ring. The point isn't to flame. The point is to show that there's so much improvement to make. And is there anything else here? Bleeding, freeze. What the hell is that? Wait, you can't have 2 granite flasks. Okay, that's it. That is all. I think I've done all of that. Let's go back to the presentation. So I think I've done everything for helping you, even though the main point was to help with the weapon. Yeah, you already did that. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for all the support. I couldn't do this without you guys. Thank you to anyone new who joins the Patreon and the YouTube members today. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!